My way home so much to suppose near home. Robert Mariano Nearby, and a baby in the man.
Yolanda Mariano Nearby.
Yeah, guys, good evening again. And I want to start by bigging up our regular listeners, like for example, Joe Guerrero. Joseph Guerrero is a stand listener of this program and other program where we discuss cultural issues. And so I want to thank Joseph Guerrero for his continued support. I also want to big up my compare, Kent Faber there in Belize City, Margaret Mariano there in Belize City, Nina Mariano, Ruby Ruano there in Cayo, Anna Lee Brown here in Dangriga, Josephine, I'm not sure how to pronounce that surname. We had Janarana, Delmaya Meza in Georgetown. We have CJ Clutter there in the United States. Judith Whiting, my friend, all the way there in Houston. Big up Judith, long time no see Judith. She's there living in Houston. She always tune in as well. We have Lena Lopez, Dion Martinez, Larina Pabon, Nelson Floresina. How are you, Nelson? All the way there in California. Biga Lulush there in Belize City. Leslie Sparkles. Good evening, guys. Yes, there's a few names that I've not mentioned, but what happened, some of the names fly so fast, I didn't have a chance to catch up with your name. I noticed Mr. Henry Banner had just tuned in, and thank you very much, Mr. Banner, for tuning in to the show. And yes, we have a lot of things to discuss today. We want to start off where we left from. But before we go to the discussion, guys, we want to go play one more song whilst we give other listeners chance to tune in to the show. So we play one more song. Hey guys, we want to big up Josephine Abernathy. I hope I pronounced her name well. And she's listening all the way from Arizona. Thank you very much, Josephine. In my mama land, okay, in a Colombia, bad, my mama in Africa, bad, my people in Africa, bad, my mama in Africa, mama ni any bow, 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 mama ni any bow. Used to make love on the floor. Now she wants a water bed. We used to go to farm on a bicycle. Now she wants a limousine. We used to live in a bamboo house. Now she wants a skyscraper. Mama ni mama. Mr. Augustine Lino, all the way there in Chicago. Good evening and thanks for tuning in. Mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow. Mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow. Mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow. That's gold mine in Africa, diamond mine in La Habana, cocaine in Colombia, bad my mama in Africa, bad my people in Africa, bad my mama in Africa, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow. Mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow,
Love on the floor. Now she wants a water bed. We used to go to farm on a bicycle. Now she wants a lemon tree. We used to live in a bamboo house. Now she wants a skyscraper. Mama ni any bow, 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 mama ni any bow. Mama pana bina tikosa yule pana mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow. Mama pana bina tikosa yule pana nito, mama ni any bow, mama ni any bow.
Yeah, guys, good evening again. And we have a few persons that just came and just came on the show again. And I want to big up these people, you know. At the same time, we had Cyril Lopez, Chuck, Yolanda Ramos, Kalima, my niece Kalima, my best niece Kalina, sorry. Then we had Jennifer Miranda, my dear sister-in-law there in New York. Mr. Henry Banner, good evening to you, Henry. Libs Flo, how are you? We had Alva Belgrave and Joan Pakeman, right? And at the same time, Darlene Castro. Yes, one of the things, one of the discussion I want to provoke, before we discuss some of the old-time tradition, last week we were discussing about where people are selling out their land, more so in some of the Garifuna communities, right? We see that in Hopkins, we see that in St. Bite, where people are selling out their land. And a listener suggested that we discuss or teach or find a way to teach people the value of land. And they believe, and I also believe, that if people can understand the real value of their land, then you'd see less people selling out their land in their community, right? Because when you go to these communities, for example, you see foreigners using the same land and becoming rich from the same land after they buy it from the Belizean. Now they work the land and they become rich, right? That's the foreigner. Now, I'm hoping to understand today, and I'm hoping that you can share with me how our people can understand the real value of land to avoid them from selling their land. Because when they sell the land, let's say they sell it for 100,000 a piece of land. Down the road, the 100,000 will finish, but the land will still be there. When they can work the land, just like the foreigner, and make big money and get rich off their land. Right. So what is your take on that?
Well, my take on that is the people don't have a vision. Because if you have a vision, you will see beyond today. They're only looking at the finances that they're getting today. And once they get, like you said, once you get that money at $30,000, it's nothing. You know, it looks big, it sounds big, but at $30,000 within months, it's finished. But if they were looking beyond today, they will see how much that land will cost 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50. The longer you keep the land, the more this land is going to value. And another thing, we don't value our inheritance. Because a lot of our land, we inherited from our ancestors, from our parents, from our grandparents, but we don't value it. So we just let go of our inheritance to all these different nations. Yesterday, for instance, I was in Hopkins. And while I was in Hopkins, I was so surprised to see how many white people bought land in Hopkins and they have their business in Hopkins. When we, the Garinago people, could keep our lands and invest in our lands. You know, if we invest in our land, we don't see the value of it. That's it. I think we really don't see the value of it.
Okay. No, my thing is that how can we motivate people in these communities where we can motivate them in a way where they can go and use their same property as collateral and get a loan and get involved in tourism. Just like the tourists, because we are on the right tourists, on the left tourists, on the back tourists, on the front tourists. What do you think about that?
I think we need some programs. If we have programs, maybe it will help the people. Because if you don't know what to do, then you can't do nothing. But if we have programs, now another thing, we're going to need to want to improve ourselves. Because even if we have programs and you don't want to improve yourself, it's of no use. So I don't know if we would need the government to help us, or we would need a city council or whoever is in charge of these programs, that we would have programs for people to really know what they have, you know, the value of their land and how to cultivate their land and how to go into farming. Now, nobody goes into farming, it seems, anymore. Everybody, the other day I heard somebody talking about...
1 second, Joe is asking to call into the show. We don't have a problem with that, Joe. You need to call me on my cell, though, at 601-8758. 601-8758, Joe. Yes, go ahead. And I noticed Joseph mentioned that a lot of people want to buy vehicles. They're selling their property to buy vehicle, flat screen TV, and fancy clothes.
That's all they want. Because it looks like people don't go into farming no more. Everybody's talking about, oh, they went to school for this, they went to school for that. If you went to school and you're taking up something in school, that, first of all, you need to know what you're taking up in school. All right? If you're taking up something in school that you know you're not going to get a job doing, it don't make no sense. But if you have a land and you decide you're going to cultivate this land, you know in a few months, you're going to have some products from this land. So I think that's another thing. We need to bring back agriculture, you know. We need to bring back farming into school. Besides just the nursing, the doctors, or whatever. Farming is good money in Belize. We need farmers. And there's a land to be farmed. But where are the farmers?
Yeah, but then you continue to see where some of us that still have land, we go and we hire foreigners to come and be our farmers. And a few years later on, the same person who used to work for us end up owning our land. Because they end up saving their money and end up buying land from our locals and end up being huge producers in relation to vegetables and other crops.
We're looking at things, like I said, we just see things in a small way. We need to see things, we need to see our investment in a big way. We're not just looking to invest in something and expect that 3 months you're going to be reaping. You know, sometimes you have to invest and you have to keep on working on it for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But it looks like our thing is just today. We just think about today. You know?
Okay, we're having a call. Let's see, I think it might be Joe.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, Joe, let me put on the speaker harder. Yes. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm Yolanda. Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yolanda, how are you, darling?
I'm good. How are you, cuz?
Yeah, Yolanda.
Yes, sir.
I'm okay, man. A hug from all the way over here in our state of Pennsylvania. Big hug to you. How are you?
Good.
Robert,
Talk,
I want you to know
Uh-huh.
my Thanksgiving is not Thanksgiving if I am not at Yolanda's house for dinner. Then it's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I say all the 48 people. I said
Yolanda is the best cook out here in Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you, cuz. Thank you.
When I was in Philadelphia last year, Joe went all the way in Philadelphia and found me. Right, Joe?
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, and my car is fixed, so I'm ready for you guys anytime again, right?
All right,
Yeah.
I'll call you when I get back.
Excellent.
Okay, go ahead with your contributions, Joe. Go ahead with your contributions.
I wanted to share with you that we, as a nation, right? We're a nation, but we don't think of ourselves as a nation, and you know why? Because of the government policies that have invaded our territories. Now, Robert was mentioning we can use our land for collateral to get a loan, develop, etc. Right?
Right.
Now, what happens when we do that with a commercial institution is we then risk losing those lands to the commercial institution, who would then sell it to foreigners or strangers to our land, which I know that we're all familiar with, right? What's the process they call it? They call it, when they auction, etc. and so on. It's the same thing, right? But my personal advocacy is for us to get the collective title to our lands where it cannot be sold, and we would have to form a kind of community bank to help us with development in the scale of what Robert is talking about. That's possible. We can do that once we have a collective title.
Yeah, but then Joe, but almost everybody have a title for their piece of land in Belize. Almost everybody.
You know something? That is not a hindrance. That's not a hindrance to the indigenous people having their rights on collective land. It's not a hindrance. But we have to learn about all of our options, especially our leaders, because our leaders, when they hear me talk about this, that's their reaction, Robert. But there are options that we have as leaders, but we would have to really sit down and learn our options so that we can have such titles where, okay, for instance, if the titles are converted to a collective, because you cannot have collective and individual on the same area, but you can have rights to your lot that you have. And it would be up to the collective to decide who may own land in our territory and who may not. That would be up to the leaders of the collective.
Yeah, but how you do that now when everybody, when people are selling them, how do you deal with that now, Joe? The point is that how do you deal with that now? That everybody have their paper, right? And then the thing is that,
as I said, the government would have to first explain why after 1996, when the ILO convention was ratified, that they still continue to give out title in our land, because from that point forward, it was totally illegal.
Yeah, Joe, my point, Joe.
It would be a big rubber. The answer would be a big.
Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
But my point right now is that it is our people who have the papers who are selling their land.
Right.
It is them who are selling it to foreigners. That is my point.
And this is another confusion amongst ourselves. But again, we have to set an infrastructure, a system. Yes, our people will sell their land and exchange it and this and that and what have you. But again, listen to what I'm saying here very, very carefully. There should be absolutely right now no transfer of private title in Garifuna lands. None. And the government knows this, because it's up to the government to do its due diligence before it hands out any more titles.
But
that was supposed to have been since 1996.
Okay.
Now, again, right, Robert? The answer? Yes, Yolanda, go ahead. Go ahead. What's your question? Let's answer questions, and let's do it that way. I'll answer questions.
But I'm still saying, I agree with what Robert is saying. If I own a property and I have the lease to my property and I want to sell that property, I don't think that government should hinder me from selling my property. I don't think that's right.
No.
That's not communism.
No part of the world. In every part of the world, you own something, you supposed to have the right to sell it.
I own, that's my property. I have the papers and I want to sell it. I should be able to sell it. That government should not stop from selling that.
And then if we go back to
this way, guys. rights, right? Let's put it this way. Right? In response to what you are saying, Yolanda. The idea of being Garinago and saving Garifuna culture is to have your territories where you can practice your culture unhindered by other people coming in. And I'll give you an example. So even the Maya who live in Maya territory, they have title or whatever, they have ownership or usage rights. Right. So let's say you, again, this is not my call. This is up to us as a community. We would have to come up with standards.
That comes again as a community, because if that's what you want to do and Robert wants to do but I'm not in agreement with you or in one accord with you, it won't happen. Okay? So now, to me, you have to really get that into the Garifuna people first before it can go into law. Because if I don't understand, if I don't agree with you, you can't come and pass the law like that to me. I have to understand first. So I think we need to let our Garifuna people understand first before government can come in.
Well, government, actually, the idea is to get government out of our lives, and then we ourselves decide the standards of how we will go about exchanging land. You understand? We have to put in our system. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Get rid of the government. Don't bring them in.
So who is going to come with this system?
Well, like I said, it's not up to me. It's up to us as a community to develop these standards. Maybe, I don't know how, but it's up to the elders, the people who will lead the community to develop these standards. And what I am saying is that before the government even came there, Yolanda, we had no such system, right? We had no such system. We just, when people came from Honduras or Guatemala, they would be assigned a piece of land on which to work. And that's okay. Now, with the modern times, the government pushed this system where they brought in banks and they gave titles where they should not have given titles in the first place. And now you're saying that, and like everybody else, I'm sure, they want to know they have the right to sell to China when China come and pay $3 million, and that's their payday, That's what people are hoping for. And so what I am saying to you is that we, and you said it too, we as a people must do some soul searching and decide if we will continue to be Garifuna or let it die. Because when you are saying, let's keep this system so I can get my $3 million for me, then we will let the system die and we will watch it and we will make a conscious decision at least. That's what I'm saying. But there may be people who may want to save the culture, and to do that, you have rights. You have collective rights. And those collective rights are something that we have to really sit down and discuss and gauge people, and then we come to decisions, we come to policies if we will continue to be Garifuna or let it die. That's basically the choice that we're faced with.
All right, thanks. Joe.
Yeah.
My thing is that the reality for me is two things that I disagree with you with. Because number one, even the Mayans down the road will have to change that communal law that they have. You know why? People know that when they have a piece of land and they have document for it, they can use that as collateral for whatever. And if the land doesn't mean anything for them, they can decide to sell it if they so want. But they will have something. You understand the point? No, I'm not in agreement with it, But the thing is that the beauty of having a piece of land with papers on it is that you can go to the bank and get that money and make development and do investment. But if you don't have any paper for it, you can't do anything with it. And the Mayans are getting to know that now, so it is opening up their eyes. It is opening up their eyes, and that is the reality.
Actually, Robert, if you recall, that's what I started with. That same scenario that you just shared. That's where I started. That's exact, and I started there for a reason to show that if you want to continue being Garifuna, then we must save our Garifuna family. And as indigenous people, basically, then we must make a conscious decision to ignore our rights as indigenous people to have our land and practice being Garifuna and pass on the tradition to our children, because
yes, Joe, but all of this have to, all of this must start,
let me finish my
Joe,
point.
this must start from us.
At the rate at which you guys are speaking, then, you know, Dangriga will basically be Chinese in about 50 years, 60 years or so.
I don't agree with you. That's why I'm saying that it starts from us.
Individuals, right?
It starts from us, Joe, from we. But the thing is that the problem is that we can discuss this all day, but it has to do with the people that own the land, what they think and what they feel. You hear what my discussion earlier start about the fact that I disagree. I don't agree with people selling their land. You know, that's that is what I started with. I never did say. In fact, I was just about to start with Stan Creek, the Commerce Street on Dangriga, because we talk about Hopkins and St. Mike. But when you look at Commerce Street and St. Vincent Street in Dangriga, that is almost gone too. It's the reality. I don't agree with it.
Yes.
But
yes.
I know. I mean, it is there. You understand me? And that is why, this is why our discussion, somebody was suggesting that we discuss here on the show how people can see the true value of their land to avoid them from selling it. That is the discussion today. You understand me?
Okay. So again, right? We will then make a conscious choice to ignore our rights as a collective people. That's what I'm trying to get at. There's a choice to be made. We can either be Creole, or we can be Garifuna, or we can be Garifuna trying to straddle in between two worlds. But what I'm saying is that we as a community, we must have maybe a year, 2 long discussions with our leaders and our community, and we educate the people to the choices. Let the people make the choice. That's what I'm big on. You know what I'm saying? If people want to forget about being Garifuna, okay, fine. But if they want to be Garifuna too, we have to listen to them as well. But how do we do that? Having public discussions, community discussions, education, and then we move forward to some kind of system.
This is one of the ways how we are doing that. And as a matter of fact, Joe, between me and you, I'm thinking how I can join with Gary Vision, where I can share their information and they share mine, and any other Garifuna group who have information that share things that benefit our people, where we have to learn to share the information that each others have, to reach out to as much of our people. You understand me?
Yes. That's what we need to do. Share the information, and then don't keep it to ourselves. Like I know that in the past, that's what they've done. But actually share and let people know. As you know, on my advocacy, I tell everything that has been taught to me by qualified attorneys, highly trained attorneys. What I say in my advocacy is because I've been told by highly trained people. Now, my personal belief, you guys were talking about your personal belief in having the right to sell basically to Chinese who are buying up land all over the world for your millions of dollars, and that's your payoff day. Okay. My personal belief is that there's a whole lot more power in collective rationale than there is in the individual. We've been led to believe that in the individual rationale, there's more power. But no, there's far more if we read and we learn in being a collective people, working collectively together on the same land. For instance, I'll give you an example. You, me, Yolanda, we're discussing, right? And we have this place that they call the jetty there. Now, jetty is a part of our collective lands. That means me, you, and Yolanda own it. So which one of us will get the title? Me, you, or Yolanda? This is an individual thing, right? That's what you're saying.
Right.
I'm saying that let us all own it together, and then let us have it developed, and all 3 of us benefit. That's what I'm saying. And it's the same thing with the town there. And it's basically the same thing with the whole village of Dangriga. Let us own it together, and let us all benefit from any development that takes place. There are options, to this individual selfish thing I mean, going to the bank with my paper, I want to sell my land, I want to get $1 million for it and not pay back the bank, make them sell it, you know?
Well,
we need to teach people our options.
But
that's my belief.
Joe, but what we are talking is the reality, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
We are not saying that we endorse that, you know. Not get me wrong. That is what is happening, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
This
That's
is what
reality.
is happening. So
right.
how can we ignore that?
I want people
How can
to
we
realize
ignore that?
that the reality is not the only option. We have other options.
Right, but
Let's talk about options.
you
know what I mean?
What we're talking about is the reality. Now, we accept that's the reality.
Yes.
Now, what are we going to do to change it? Okay? That's where we are right now.
Exactly,
What are we going to do? We're not saying that we agree or we don't disagree. But what are we going to do? There are steps that we need to take to change it. We're just sitting here. We're going to talk about it and talk about it. When this program is done, that's it. But what are we going to do after this? Who is going to get involved? Where do we go? What's the next step?
Right.
Okay? Do we have a plan? Do we have, do we have a program? Is the government being involved? We need to get things going. We can't just talk.
Exactly.
Too much talk,
this is what I'm
and
saying.
nothing happens.
I did give some suggestions that we as a people, we must sit down and educate people to the options, and we have to make decisions. That's what I'm saying. Now, who will make decisions? Well, we have leaders. That's what they're there for. They should be leading the way. Let's give Garifuna a choice: perpetuation or extinction. That's it. You can't have both at the same time. It's going to be one or the other, but we have to give people the choice, and we have to educate, and then we have to have some point where we reckon and we come to a decision. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would recommend.
All right.
You know, when you're talking about the solutions, that's what I would say. Let's educate the people to the options first.
But
then we have community discussions.
Joe,
then we come to decision.
Joe, but that is how we started, you know. How the suggestion, the person said that we have to educate the people. And if you look on the screen, you will see several people, including Rodney Nunes and Donna Valentine, say the same thing. It's about education, and this is what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
We mentioned this thing, but we are not saying that we are endorsing that, you know, Joe. Don't get us wrong. We not endorse that. The thing is that this is the reality that is happening on the ground.
People is doing it.
That is the reality.
Yes, I get you. I totally understand, yeah.
And the thing is that's why I said, and if we will educate, then the different groups we need to network.
Right.
We have to start to network. We have Garifuna, we have my show, we have what's his name, Palacio, I forgot his name. But there are several different groups that do these kind of shows in relation to educate. But sometimes we don't share with each other. And we have to start to network. And the only way we can network is by sharing the information. So their friends can see my information, my friends can see theirs, and it goes out. You understand me? It goes out, and it will reach out as far as possible. Right?
Do not just make a comment. And you know something? I think that's a good idea. But you know what, Robert? At some point, you would have to get these people who you get cooperating to maybe get some financing to do a promotion about options of not selling your land, about the options of working together under our rights, under the ILO 169. And then this way people will begin to see, hey, you know something? I've been doing this by myself, waiting for my own payday. But for me to get my payday, I have to sell my land. But if I work with the community, I can, number one, we can have a community bank where you get the same benefits at a lower interest rate to build your house on your land. You don't have to borrow at 15%. If our leaders had the right frame of mind, they can actually get some funding to start a community bank and give interest rates as low as 3-4%. That's what I'm looking at, the options that we have. You know what I mean? So yeah, that commercial thing that's been pushed in our face by the government all the while, and actually we ourselves push all of that garbage on our own people, and then we wonder how we got there. We perpetuated it in the tradition of the Lynch writing, where slaves perpetuate slavery in a psychological way. That's what we become. But if we teach the options, and Robert, I think your way is the right way. Get groups together to share the information, If we teach the right way, give our people the options, they may then begin to see, hey, I don't have to do this myself. I could be, my whole community can be helping me develop my property. And that's a possibility among Garifuna and among Maya. It is definitely a possibility. But then again, like you said, guys, we have to educate our people, but then we depend on our leaders to do it.
Okay, Joe.
And on our leaders to have the start, you know?
Yeah.
We have one other part where we need to get in relation to this land thing. I wish we had all the time to discuss it, but it's another portion of the land thing, because as we talk about culture and so on, one of the things we also need to look at as a race is that we have the Dugu, right? And right now in Guatemala, they don't do Dugu. They only do Shogo. You know why? Because they don't have key. And a part of the Dugu, they need to go Adugaha at an island. Right? The Adugaha, they call it. Something like that they call it. Adugaha. Right? Now the thing is that we start to look at, again, our people that own islands continue selling out the island too. Everybody they sell. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen if, and this is what I need to discuss with the leader of the National Garifuna Council, that we need to make some move on to acquire some island between Dangriga, PG, and Sinbite, so that when people have their Beagle, they have their own Garifuna island that they can go on.
Okay, let me tell you this, Robert. I have good news for you, man. I'm glad that issue came up, because it will help me to illustrate my point once again, right? The power of the collective. Okay. We have a Dugu, which is our traditional thing, right? It's our spirituality, right? We all agree. Your audience agrees, right? So hey Robert, you remember which keys we used to go to do the whatever it is we need to do and then come back? You know which keys we used to go to? You recall?
No, I don't remember the name of the islands then. I've never been to one of the other ones.
Okay, now listen to me, right? Yolanda, you listen good too. Okay, I want you to learn this.
Okay.
So what happened is that since it's our tradition, Robert, right? The ILO Convention 169 says nobody can stop us from doing that. Even if it's Harvest Key, where the boat land that we used to go to, we have a right to go there under the law. Now, not only us, Robert, you see those people in Guatemala who need that too? They have a right to use it too, because they're Garifuna. They don't have to be Belizean to have the right to use that particular key. That's the power of the collective, because when I say collective, it's not just the Belizean Garinago who are affected by what we do in Belize, but it's anybody who comes to Belize who's Garifuna. You understand? But you have to have that collective mentality to have these rights. And right now we do not. We're still in the individual mentality. So what you're saying, Robert, it can be addressed legally, lawfully, right? But if we don't pursue that avenue, then we may as well call it quits. That's what I mean. We call it an extinction. Call it the extinction of Garinago. But if we work collectively, we can have a Guatemalan.
Yes, Joe, you hear what I say? You hear what you say?
And do the same thing.
Yes, it is something that we need to address. But the point is that we need to start to addressing that issue.
That's it.
And that's why I brought it up today. It is something that we don't need to wait anymore. That's something that we have to start to address from now.
But you know where it starts, Robert? You know where it starts? From here. This is where it starts. We have to talk about it. We have to let our people know the options that are out there for us, which is what I'm trying to help doing. I know that you, Robert, you're concerned that, the people know what's going on too and what we can do. So I'm giving you the solutions, and it's all in the collective rights in the ILO C-169. That convention is very powerful in how we preserve our culture. It actually gives us the right to preserve the right to go to Harvest Key. When we want, they must give us access. And you read it, it's in there. You understand? That's what I'm telling you. And the same thing with the Guatemala now. We have them have access. We make a corridor for them to come and complete the process for the Dugu. They can do that. I hope my friends have been helpful.
All right. And yes, guys, please send those thumbs up, guys.
All right, Joe.
I'm just
Thank
telling
you
those
so
guys,
much.
send those thumbs up.
Anytime.
All right, we got to see what we're going to do.
Anytime.
And
Because
Joe,
one person can't do it.
it's a collective thing.
It's a collective thing, but we need to stop. We just can't talk about it. We've been talking about it too long. Now it's time to do something.
And too much.
Yes,
Too long and too much. Now we got to do something now.
I'm just a humble follower, Yolanda.
Huh?
I'm just a humble follower. I am depending on my leaders in Belize. My leaders are all in Belize. I'm a humble follower. I'm an Indian. I don't have no chief hat. I'm an Indian.
All right. Well, somebody got to do something.
Okay, Robert, let's go, man. Lead. You that I Belize, lead.
Oh, me, I'm leaving from here. I'm going back home. I don't know when I'm coming back.
Okay, guys. Well,
All right, thank you. All right.
I will go.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Okay, Rodney. Yeah, bye. Rodney Nunes is trying to get into the show. And Rodney Nunes, if you want to get into the show, feel free to call 601-8758. 601-8758. Or you can call me on WhatsApp or Messenger, Rodney. Feel free to call, guys. And I noticed that Donna Valentine and Rodney Nunes were making some points as well at the same time. And I also noticed Jennifer Miranda said, Joe, go to Belize to see how you can get involved.
That's
put
right.
down your words into action.
Can't be talking.
Anyway, Joe, I'm hoping that Rodney Nunes calling. We're waiting for Rodney at this time to call in. Again, Rodney, it is 601-8758. Or you can call me on Messenger or WhatsApp. I'm very much interested to hear from Rodney Nunes. But at the same time, when we had that discussion, Yolanda, there was a lot of people who were making comments. There were several people who were making comments, and we didn't have the opportunity to mention about the comments. And right now we're winding down. We have how much? 40 minutes more to go for the show. And so we want to encourage everybody to make an effort to call in as much as possible. And guys, send those thumbs up. You know, I hope that the discussion is very much interesting, right? Because it is real issues that is affecting our communities, and because of that, I think that all of us, it is important for us to exchange information with each other as to the way forward. Right? These are real ways that we need to move forward. And big up Joe, big up. Nelson Flores is say, more proud of my grandmother and my mother for keeping their land on Commerce Street. Yes, and Nebad, A.K. Nelson Flores, is one of the few Garifuna who still have land on Commerce Street in Danriga. One of the few. I think right now it's only about 4 or 5 Garifuna altogether that have land on Commerce and St. Vincent Street.
Wow.
Yeah, it is also low because it's commercial land, and that I think that's why. Now we're having a call from Mark Stevens. Let's see what Mark Stevens has to say. Yeah, Marky, good evening.
Good evening, boss. Great show. But I just want to make a little pointer here. Now, we've been selling land to people for so many years now that we barely have the Chinese has bought out all the land and stuff, and we're not going to end up as Belizean, not only as Garifuna. I mean, I understand that you're trying to save the culture and all that. I applaud you for that. But also Belizean in a whole, because we are all Belizean. When it comes to the end of it, it's Belizeans. We're not gonna have anything. It's
I'm receiving a call, Mark. So please feel free to call back whenever I get call. It knock out the messenger call. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Robert.
Yeah.
Robert, good evening.
Yeah, Rodney.
Yes, man.
Go ahead, Rodney.
Yeah. Well, yes. What happened is, first I want to yes. First, I want to comment. The president the Garifuna council in Dandiga, for a good job to getting into office. But the problem that we have with land, it's a big problem, and we can't just solve it by ourselves. We need all of us to come in. Joe, we doing a lot of talking. Joe is doing a lot of talking for years, and we need to put the talking into reality, because we can't just be talking and we can't find solutions to problems, because if we find solutions to problems, then we will move on. But if we don't have no solutions, then why
talk? They got cut off.
The call went off. It looked like you wrote out the credit, my cousin, but I was just about to enjoy that conversation. So I hope you call back. Mark Stevens, if you're there, you can call me back at the same time. Or if there's anybody that want to call, you can call me. Yes, Mark, you can call me back. Mark just mentioned that he got cut off. He said I got cut off. So feel free to call back, guys. The phone is on. You can call me on Messenger if you want, Rodney, or you can call me on WhatsApp. So feel free to call. Mark, you can call. Rodney, you can call. If one person call first, then as soon as that one is off, then the other person can just call back.
But what Rodney says, what we've been talking about, everybody talking. We know we have a problem. Now we don't need to be talking about the problem anymore. We need to talk about the solution. And what steps do we take to solve this problem? Okay? We know we have a problem. What's the answer? To every problem, there's an answer. So we need answers. We need to know what we should do, not only as Garinago, but as Belizeans, like the I think Mark said. We don't want all these Chinese to come and take our land, whether we're Garinago or whether we're Belizeans. We have lands, and we should not be selling our lands to Chinese people. Okay.
So Mark is calling back again. Yeah, Mark, go ahead.
Yes, boss. Yes. Like I said, man, we're Belizeans, and we have to come to some solution instead of just talking like Mr. Joseph, as usual, like he always be saying, but then they don't put nothing in action, So you guys are there. Mr. Morano, you have put a lot of stuff in action. I mean, look at the police link up, look at all these things. I mean, these things are making stuff better because now they're, understanding. So, educate us, see how we can stop, because I was offered something for my land the other day, my land and my house, and I told him, no, I could use the money, but no, you not Belizean. The only way I would sell if it's a Belizean, barn-grown Belizean.
True.
So that this.
Somebody's calling in again. Hello? You try and get in at the show? Okay, I'll put you on. Hold on. Yeah, guys, we have Maurice, the president of the National Garifuna Council, who have just called in. Go ahead, Maurice.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Robert. Good afternoon.
Yes,
your co-host. Good afternoon. This is very good. It's a very enjoyable topic, very informative topic for today. I'm really enjoying it. And it's the same. It's the same problem all the time. The same issue. People call in, or people come in and complain and talk and don't do anything. We don't have time for talking no more.
True.
There's no more time for talking. I came into the race because I see there's issues, and we come with a lot of solution. And the solution is on the ground now, and we are moving forward, and we will do something about the issues. One, we will prioritize our issues, and we will do what's necessary to fix those problems. And we're tired of talking. And this is, especially, this is not all the people from the states. We got people coming in, and it's our own people that live in the states that come in all these, the potholes, the mosquito, the sun is too hot. When you guys were living here in Belize, it was hot. The mosquitoes were still here.
So true.
The potholes
So
were still
true.
here.
But my street
Okay.
got worse. Canal Street is worse.
Okay, well, if it got worse, it started somewhere.
So please.
It started somewhere. So we got to work together, like what you guys are mentioning on the show. I'm totally in agreement with that. But these, our people, and Joe, well, we got to do this. ILO 169, ILO this. Look, come on, Joe. You have the solution.
Help.
Joe haven't come to Belize in so many years, in 1,000 years, but he's the most vocal. He's the most vocal Garifuna advocate and our people advocate in this entire world. If I had the solution like Joe had, because he's a very intelligent guy. He had all this thing written down, all this thing. I've been talking to Joe for years. He's my friend. I consider him my friend. But we gotta stop the talk, man, or else we won't even answer a phone call no more. We won't even respond to your correspondence no more. Because enough is enough. Let's work together. Let's put the plan on the table.
Right.
And let's do what's best for the Garifuna people in the whole world.
That's right.
Okay? Because UDP, PUP this, UDP no. It's not about UDP. We have a lot of people living in our community these days. We have Hispanic, we have Creole. We gotta learn to live with these people. This is our people as well. This is our community, yes, but they live here with us. They make the community what it is today. If you're not in touch with our community, then you don't say anything. Our community has changed. It has dramatically morphed into what it is today. Okay? So let's work together. It's all about unity. It's not about what this one is doing in office. Let's wait for our leadership. Our leadership might not know what to do.
True.
But with all of us collectively that have all this knowledge, we're not afraid to take up the challenge. We're not afraid to accept advice. We're not afraid to do none of these things. But it's the way you go around doing things. It's the way you go about conducting yourself like you're an enemy of us, Garinago. I know we're not no enemies, but it's your approach, it's the way you do things. Okay, so it's different. The connection with us here in Belize and our people in the United States, there's a disconnect, and we need to learn what that disconnect is, so we could understand each other and move forward. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is my sentiment for today. I know we have a lot of topics.
Now, Mr. Herrera, I'm hoping to get you on the show as the new president of the National Garifuna Council, though, in the next week or so, where we can maybe discuss some of some of your plans for the way forward. I don't know if next week will be good for you.
Next week will be perfect for me. You know, Robert, you have my time. Anytime you want me on the show, I will come on the time. This is a new regime. This is a new NGC. We are here for the people, working for the people, and we're having a meeting today, and this is the first time our executive is going to be meeting. We will chart a way forward. We will prioritize how we need to move forward again, and then we will make everything transparent. We will communicate with our people. We'll make them aware of what we're doing and what we need from our people in order for us to have the society that we deserve.
Okay, I noticed that Dangwega branch had a web page on Facebook. Will they keep that? Will you continue with that page to educate the people worldwide as to what the Dangwega branch NGC is doing?
Yes, we plan to do all that, Robert. Like again, this is the first time we're going to be sitting down as a executive, our first meeting, and we will start broadcasting some of those meetings, getting comments, just as like your show. You are an inspiration to us as well. All of us that are part of that executive, and we have to keep our people informed. Some of the things that the previous administration weren't doing, we will learn from that. We won't go back and say they were doing bad and doing this and doing that.
Exactly.
And we will get some of those people on board as well in subcommittees that they are very good at, because I know that they got in there because of their good heart. They got in there for some reason, and we got to use them to the best of their abilities. And that's what it's all about.
On the screen just now, the young lady Donna Valentine is asking, how are we in the diaspora going to know what the meeting is about?
Well, like I just mentioned, the meeting will be, we're just meeting. This is the first time we're meeting as executive.
Okay.
And henceforward, when when we have our meetings, we will let the public know when we'll give them all information about the meeting. And then we'll post that online, let people know what's going on. That's what I just said earlier.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Prez. And I hope to have you on the show next week.
I definitely will. I definitely will, Robert.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank again to your co-host. Thanks again for everyone listening.
Yeah, man,
Keep listening to this show. This is a very informative show. And we will make a commitment to show ourselves, make sure we're very transparent moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. And I noticed Percy Lewis just tuned in and want to big up Percy Lewis, who also do contributions. You know, we had what's his name, Mark Stevens, who was calling. I'll see if I can get him back into the show. He didn't finish what he wanted to say, so I hope that I get him back into the show. You know, Nelson is saying, Mar, some guy does not value what they have when it comes to their land. Yeah, Mark. You want to continue your discussion?
Yes, Mr. Moran. Yes, man, definitely. Like I was saying, and like a couple people said, you know, Mr. Joseph, you know, he's a good man and he has all the expertise. So, I mean, the man is a very smart man and they should try and come up with something better than just be talking. But I'll give an example of us as Belizean. And I've been, as a police officer, I worked with Garifuna officers and all that, and they were the best. I mean, these guys are very smart. And I want to give an example of just Belizeans now. Some Belizeans just want to put down others, and that's the problem. We are separated, we are not united. Until we become united, then we're going to be good, because some people are afraid to speak their own Creole out here. Look how long I've been in the United States and I still speak my Creole. I know, exactly. I don't forget my Creole at all. You know, in the wine way, my Creole is not going to go anywhere because that's part of me. Exactly. That's part of our culture, our Creole culture in Belize. Exactly. So why should you, it's the same thing with you guys. You know, I mean, I wish I had learned the language when I was down there. I knew a little, but I wish I did, because it's always good. It's just like Spanish. It's just like any other language, you know. We have to stick together and get this thing going, because we're really selling out Belize, man. Belize is, Chinese is buying everything. Look on Belize City itself, Central American Boulevard. Who own Central American Boulevard? The Chinese.
That's it.
They own almost the entire Central American Boulevard. They bought out everything, you know. So we have to try, man. You know, we as Belizeans,
this is why we use
the man was saying just now.
This is why we try to use this show, Mark, to educate people as to the value of their land, that they don't need to sell their land. Because when they sell their land to the Chinese or to whosoever, the person go and do business on it and become millionaires. And they can do the same. They can work their land and become millionaires from their own land.
Do the same, yeah. But see, Mr. Moran, I want to show you something. If you, when you retire or whatever, you go try open a store. You go try open a shop. Even an empanada shop as a Belizean, right? You Belizeans, they really want to patronize you, and they think that they could come there and say, you know what, hey, I don't got no money today, can you could give me this, you could give me that. This is us as from way back. You remember the song where Lord Ray-Ban sing, give me this, give me that, send me this, send me that? That's the way they think. No, but America is not that way anymore. We're out here working hard, so you have to do it for yourself. Until we become, you know, self-sufficient, then we're going to be good. You complain about the patrol, you complain. You see, when I go home, we can't complain about the heat. I can't complain about the patrol. I'm glad to be home. That's one of the happiest man to be in Belize when I go home, because I cherish my country. I love my country to the end, you know? So I know they complain about the heat, and I complain about the fly and all that. Man, look, we we just learn to have to start to appreciate what we have. And that's the whole thing right there. You know, my grandmother taught me something. He said, "No make your eye red for where, they're not for you." And that's what a lot of people do, who start to read their eye for things with enough for there, and they don't know how that person get it. So sometimes the vanity, you know, they want to have more, they want to say Mr. Jones, they live like this. He got big Cadillac, he got this. But I don't need to have none of them big things. As long as I'm happy, I'm good.
All right.
You know, so all those little things, like I said, you have to educate the kids and stuff, you know, and that's why I take my hat off to you, brother, because police link up all them other little things and you come up with this show now. I listen to this show every Sunday once I got the time. You know, and I listen to the police link up. I want to be informed about what's going on in my little country. So keep up the good work, guys. Thank you. Great show today. Great show. Not that it's not good other one, but this is a great one, and this is brought a lot of people out. You know what? Really, man. Wow. Yeah.
Mr.
You know,
Mark,
we have to start doing that.
Mr. Mark, some people just like to complain. I live in America over 50 years. America have potholes, okay?
There you go.
In the summer, I find mosquitoes in America, okay? So they just want to complain. I live in Pennsylvania now. You don't want to see the potholes in Pennsylvania, all right? So it's not only Belize that have potholes.
You're right, especially in New York, especially in New York and the Belt Parkway.
Okay? New York has some big potholes. Okay, sit outside in the summer. I got a lot of mosquitoes in America. And it's hot. I have to use air conditioner. So if you're hot in Belize, buy yourself an air conditioner. That's it. Problem solved. Thank you. You're right. You're so right about that. It's amazing, you know, what people complain about. You know, and then you have the president of the United States, they call out countries like us shitholes, you know. I mean, and people listen to look, man, you wish they could live like us, because I think Belize in a whole maybe not might be rich in currency, but it's rich with land and its people. Its people is what make Belize, man. We have a rich country, you know, and we need to keep it that way. You know, some people go home and say, "Oh, I'm glad to be back." Glad to be back to what? Come back here for work and go through all this harassment over here? I mean, man, there's nothing here. It's but work. That's all. There's nothing else. You know, when you go back to Belize, man, you feel all the nice, oh my God, I feel like I'm in a wonderland when I get back to Belize. So, hey. All right.
You know, it's crazy. Take care, guys. But potholes again, don't worry, we got them here.
All right.
Okay, brother.
That's a good one.
Thank you. Thanks. I noticed that Donor Valentine is very active putting information or discussing. But I was hoping though that Dana would call. You know, again, Dana, my number is 601-8758. Or she can call me on Messenger or WhatsApp, you know. And Dana have some very good information, so I was hoping that she called the show before we break. Rodney Nunes, I'm hoping that Rodney calls back. And somebody's calling. Let's see. Hello.
Yes, hi, Robert.
It's
Joe calling again.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, okay. Greetings once again to everybody.
Yeah, brother.
I wanted to contribute in response to what Brother Maurice was saying. And I want to particularly address this because it's something that I hear time and time again, where you're told, okay, you want to see the change and you can't do it, basically. Not in a malicious way, but that just seems to be the solution that's offered time and time again. Okay? Number one, it kind of makes me sad to hear it, and I'll tell you why. Because it makes me feel like they cannot do something which is actually a legal process and simply takes an attorney to do. That's number one. They don't need me to go anywhere to do something that they can do right there by themselves. Now, I can help as much as I can from the United States. And when I go home, I'd be happy to, do as much as I can while I'm there. But the fact of the matter is, when I do go, nobody is paying my bills here for me. Nobody is paying my bill to go there to do their work for them. So what I'm saying is that if you are an elected leader, then and this goes across to all the leaders, right? It's just something in general, not any specific. It's general. As a leader, then hopefully you're qualified to put in place the right things necessary to get the job done. So if someone is saying to you, and you're a leader, get an attorney, get the ILO 169 rights that the Maya have, and then what you do, you collect your land, you develop your land along with other corporations yourself. You don't let the government do it, because the government would take all the benefit or give it to cronies. You do it because it's your land. Someone's telling you that. I hope you will recognize, some good information when you hear it. And then it's up to you as a leader to make a decision. And nobody voted me into any position for me to go there and take over their jobs. That's a legal process. Nobody voted me in. If I go there and I do what the leaders are supposed to be doing, then I'm facing. I'm very facing. There is a process here. There is a due process going on. And personally, as you guys may know, I take it seriously. I see it as a due process. They're registered. They have a system that's registered. And here I come because you said, why you not do it? And then I violate everything that you registered in your articles. Then that puts me at risk. So the leaders have to do some due diligence, which I'll be happy to help with for free, because the information was given to me for free. So I'm giving it to anybody who comes and asks for it for free. I'm not charging. Anybody who needs the help. And I will help them step by step if they like. I would do those extraordinary things because they're my people. I want to see it happen.
Okay.
So I just wanted to respond to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Good day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was mentioning earlier that Donna Valentine was given some nice information, and I was hoping that she called into the show. Like I said, she can call me on WhatsApp or Messenger. Also we have Rodney Nunes, who was on and he went off. So I'm hoping also that Rodney would call back. But it is obvious that the discussion of land being sold is a heated discussion, and it is not just within the Garifuna people, Garifuna communities. So, like you hear what Mark mentioned, that it is also happening in these cities. So that when you look at Boulevard, it's all Chinese that own those areas. So it's a very interesting discussion that we need to continue to discuss. And also we need to, like I mentioned, we need to network the different Garifuna groups. Because we have Trevor Palacio, I think he lives in San Francisco. And there's several other groups that I know about, and I think that if we can network together and keep the information together, we can reach out to our people, because they need to understand the real value of land.
So we were talking about the keys.
Yes,
but we
were talking about the keys because, like I mentioned, it is a part of the Garifuna culture. And in Guatemala, it is obvious Guatemala do not own island. And because of that, the people in Guatemala, they don't do the good, they do sugar. Right? They only do sugar. But here in Belize, we are fortunate that we have island. Right? But my thing is that before things get out of hand, we need to start to take action from now.
Right. But what I was going to say about that, because the last time we talked, we were talking about the Garifuna culture changing. Now, growing up, there was a difference between dugu and chugu. There were some people that wanted dugu and some people wanted chugu.
Yes.
So which means you can't be having chugu for everybody. So that's the problem.
Yeah, but then I don't know how they deal with it in Guatemala, but they only do sugar in Guatemala.
So, you see?
Right? Because they don't have island. Like I said, they cannot go and do Gaha. When here in Belize, we have island. So we keep that. But they still have people that do sugar and don't do Dogo. Right? So both of them is still in Belize. Right? But again, we don't want to reach in that stage where we will lose the other part of it. We want to keep everything. You know, and this is why I'm mentioning that how we need to. And I think I'll be working with some people to see how we can work together and see how we can deal with that issue.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah, it's a real big issue. Yeah. Mark Stevens just mentioned, he said, I'll come see you whenever I come home, Mr. Mar. Great show, keep up the good work. I got to go. Thank you very much, Mark. You know, thanks, man. I really appreciate your company today, Mark. You helped boost up the show today. But we were discussing about land. I think I would like to go back a bit to see if we have another time. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
Yes.
I am back.
Yes.
Greetings again to the whole world that is listening. You know.
Yeah.
I do agree that like what Yolanda said before, the mosquito there where the other states they big. But our people in Dangriga, not in only Dangriga, in Belize, always want us to give them a hands out. I don't mind giving out the hands out, but the thing is that we need to appreciate the little that we send for them from here.
Exactly.
You know, appreciation goes a long way. And if you don't appreciate the little that the people they send from here, then you defeat the whole purpose of them sending things to you from here. You know? But my thing is that the lands department is run by the government. But I know the Garifuna people has their land. Well, we know Promised Land was right there owned by the Marianos. We have the Lambes that own properties in Dangriga. We have the Nuneses, you know. But again, the thing that is hampering us in Dangriga that we there, the younger generation don't want to work. You know, they want everything given to them. You know, we need to start coming and do what we need to do. We need solutions. We don't want problems. Problems is for people when not the think. You know, we need solutions. And when solutions come, it's because we need to help the president. The new president that is coming in, I know he come with a good heart. You know, and then we can't bash the whole one with them when the year before, you know, because they gone there to do a job. How many of them getting paid to do what they are doing? Maybe, I don't know if they get paid or they don't get paid.
They all volunteer.
So much.
They all volunteer.
Huh?
They volunteer.
All right. So, okay. So this is what we need to bring out there to the people. Everybody they volunteer. Even again, Joe has the knowledge, you know, and he will volunteer a time, you know. But sometimes you need to come on the ground and see what is going on. Then you analyze the whole thing. Like I said, Chicago, LA, New York, Atlanta, Georgia. We need to bring all of these people together, and the president has to start the president of the National Garifuna Council, not just the president of the districts. The National Garifuna Council president has to come to all of these places, you know, and lobby with us, talk to us.
Okay, it's obvious credit Donna again because no thanks for the call. Donna, I'm hoping that you will give us a call, Donna. Please do. You can call me at 601-8758 or you can call me on Messenger. You just have to type in Robert Mariano, or you can call me on WhatsApp. You know, because I noticed Donna have a lot of information.
Yeah, she said, Donna said it's not that they're lazy. She said there's no jobs, but they need to create jobs. And when we say that when we say they're lazy, it's not everybody that's lazy, but there's some that's lazy. Yesterday by market, somebody asked me, give me $10. I said, not a problem. Come to the house, rake the yard, I give you $10. He said, when? I said, let's go now, rake the yard, I give you $10. He said, okay, I come in at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, he still didn't show up. I got a Spanish man, he raked the yard, I gave him the $10.
So he wanted $10
He wanted
free.
$10. All right, but he don't want to work for the $10, okay?
Well, I hear that they now refer to it as they're allergic to work.
No, see, they're allergic to work. So some of them is just lazy. Some of them, they can't find job, but you got to create work.
I want to big up Kevin Thomas. He recently tuned in about half an hour ago. He usually listens to the show as well. And yes, guys, I'm a bit hoarse. But you know, like I mentioned, whenever it comes to Sunday, I always expect to be on the show along with you guys, regardless of the condition. I noticed Del Nicky Sebastian just tuned in, and Keisha Davis just tuned in.
My baby was there. I don't know if she's still there. Naomi Kaliz Ray. I don't know if she's still there.
I think she's still there, but you know, we were overwhelmed with calls today.
Right.
And the show was very, very warm. You know, but what I like though with the show is that everybody have their own opinion, right?
True.
But we all respect it. And I think that's the way forward with how we start. The only thing now is for us to come together and then we start to work together. We already know what's the problem. We're supposed to know what's the solution. Now we start forming groups to move forward. Right? It's time to create groups to move forward. But the thing is that many a times when you form groups, there are a lot of people who come and say, yeah, well, I'm offering myself. But whenever you call meetings, and when it is time to work, they don't show up. You know? So my thing now is, how do we deal with that? You know, where we will have to form groups, people offer themselves, and they don't show up to work.
Right.
You know, because that will be another hindrance. You know, Nelson Flores, aye. Rodney is correct. The president.
God has enemies. Frequently disagreed with NGC direct, but we need to talk. The president avoid the desperado that like the plague. Okay, referring. Okay. She agrees with. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, now it's time for us to move forward and form groups to ensure that the work is done. You know, like I mentioned earlier, one of the things that we need to start immediately is to start networking, right? Where we all share with each other. So if I have my show, Gary Vision and Clever Palacio and the other groups will share it.
Right.
Right? And when it's the same way, when they have theirs, I do the same. And I keep it on my page so that we keep those information available. So if people want information at any time, they can go back to the page and see it and get the information for themselves. Because all the show that I do, I leave it on the Facebook page for the information of everybody. As a matter of fact, as early as recent, about a month ago, I start putting it also on YouTube, right, for the information of everybody. So I try to reach out as much as possible for that purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. But you see, even though everybody have different opinions, everybody agree that there is a problem and we need a solution to the problem.
Exactly.
So at least that's established. We have a problem and we need a solution to the problem.
Yeah. So then, guys, we admit and we all know that, yes, there is a problem. And we all know that there is a solution to the problem. So let's come together now and see how we can be the solution. We are working together. You know, so I trust that
Donna said we got to connect with other Garifuna in Central America and the Caribbean.
Exactly, I agree with that. With
true.
Donna, right, as well. And this is why we need to start to connect with the different groups. But today on my show, you will find that we have Garifuna from Honduras and Guatemala who was listening to this show. There were several Belizean,
Right.
but they are mentioning about groups, and with the groups, you're reaching out to a bigger amount of people rather than individuals, right? And so we need to find a way to reach out to all of them.
Because right now Honduras is having a big problem with lands, the Garinago land and the Spanish people. It's a big problem in Honduras right now.
And we don't have those problems here in
No.
Belize, at least. You know, right now we live in very comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, what to think about this show today? I think this was one of the few shows that
It was a very good show.
we didn't even have much time for ourselves. If you notice, we only play one song,
That's it.
and then the show is almost coming to an end. We only have 2 more minutes to go. You know, and I need to thank the people who were very much interactive with the show today. I don't know Donna, but I want to big up Donna and thank her very much for sharing with us today. We had Rodney Nunes. I want to thank him very much because Rodney did a good job by sharing. We also have Joseph Guerrero. You know, Joseph, he shared a lot of good information. Then we have the new president of the National Garifuna, Mr. Maurice Herrera. You know, we want to thank him as well. And Mr. Herrera promised to be on the show along with us next week. You know, so he can share his vision as the president of the National Garifuna as to how he will lead the culture for the next 2 years or so. You know, and I have a lot of confidence in Mr. Herrera. Because I was one of them that went out to give him the support. I went and I rallied behind him and his team. You know, and he have a young, vibrant team that I have all confidence that they can get the job done. You know, but again, they can only get it done with our support. And support is very, very important. Because one of the things in Dangriga, there's a lot of people who doesn't want to support. People only want to criticize here. You know, whilst criticism is healthy, because that's what makes us strong, sometimes we need to know what we are talking about. And many times, people really don't know what they're talking about. They only criticize it. Because I listened to some conversation, you know, that was mentioned last week. And, you know, it didn't have any kind of basis at all. No kind, you know. So,
We're already going to go to the beach.
Anyway, guys, I want to say thanks very much to everybody who tuned in today. The show is coming to an end today. But like I mentioned, next week I'll be having Mr. Herrera along with me on the show. And I want to encourage everybody to tune in and invite a friend. Invite a friend or two to listen to the show. Because the show is not about me, it's about us. You know, and my thing is to discuss the reality of the show. Right? It's discuss the reality, the truth. And we put it in the hands of people. We can't make the decision for them. It is them who will make the decision for themselves.
I just want to thank you, my cousin. This is my second time on this program, and I really enjoy it. And like you say, we need to notify other Garinago people. Let them know that this program is going on. It's very informative. And don't be afraid to voice your opinion. We need to come together as one and come to solutions instead of criticizing each other and pulling down each other. God bless.
Send those thumbs up, guys, for the end of the show.
Garifuna. Garifuna.